May I have your attention, please? If you haven't done so at this time, please sign in and please silence all cell phones and pagers. Thank you.
Good morning. This meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. This meeting is being held at the offices of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North 3rd Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Wednesday, August 12, 2020, and the time is 10:06 a.m. Please call the roll.
Chairman Shavardi?
Here.
Commissioner Wagusback?
Here.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Here.
Commissioner Verter?
Here.
Commissioner Wood? Here. 5 present and a quorum.
Thank you. There being no old business to take up at this time, we will take up the matter of consider change orders.
Tanisha Malvo on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 263 change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 254 and place 9 in pending status. Staff requests approval of these change orders.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we accept the staff recommendations, approve 254 change orders, and place 9 in pending status.
Second.
Commissioner Verter?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagusback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shavardi?
Yes. We'll now consider prior pending change orders.
Tanisha Malvo on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 10 prior pending change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 6 and keep 4 in remaining in pending status. Staff requests approval of the prior pending change orders.
Mr.
Have a
Chairman,
motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move that we accept staff recommendation that it pertains to prior pending change orders, approve 6 and place 4 back in pending status.
Commissioner Verter?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagusback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shavardi?
Yes. We'll now consider tax sale cancellations.
Tanisha Malvo on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 4 tax sale cancellations. We have 3 in Ouachita Parish, all due to office errors, 2 in which the address was incorrect. 1 was erroneously adjudicated to the parish. And then we have 1 that's in St. Tammany Parish for dual assessment. Staff requests approval of these 4 tax sale cancellations.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry.
I move that, I make a motion that we approve the tax sale cancellation form.
Second?
Commissioner Verter?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagusback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavardi?
Yes. We'll now take up consideration of Assessor Errol Williams' rehearing request on the appeal of Assessor Errol G. Williams versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-312. We'll have a presentation by our attorney, Drew Hoffman.
Commission members, good morning. As you're aware, we received a rehearing request for this matter of Taftey Ward. It's an assessor appeal. Just by way of background, to remind you, you originally heard this appeal on July 9th. You made a voice vote to change the value that had been determined by the Board of Review. The Board of Review value was $115,000. Y'all's determination was $119,000. The rehearing request came in on July 23rd. You signed a written decision reflecting your voice vote on August 7th. The request for rehearing letter has been disseminated to all of you, as well as the Louisiana Revised Statute 49959, which provides for the basis for a rehearing under the Administrative Procedure Code. I'm happy to answer any questions, but in general, it appears the assessor is suggesting that this is new evidence that he would like for the commission to consider in adjudicating the appeal. Under 959, the new evidence has to be evidence that wasn't previously available. So you have to make the determination about whether or not what's being submitted was not available or to the assessor to be submitted during the appeal hearing on July 9th.
Do we have any questions?
What was the board review amount, you said?
The board review determination was $115,000.
All right, I'm prepared to make a motion if there's no, all right, no other questions. I'll make the motion that the request for rehearing by Assessor Errol Williams versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-312, the request for rehearing be denied.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagglesback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right, at this time, we'll move on to the appeal portion of our docket. I'll ask anyone who is going to testify this morning at the microphone to please stand up at your chair to be sworn in as a witness.
If you have an appeal hearing this morning, go ahead and stand up. I'm going to administer an oath to all of you at the same time. I'll indicate to you to affirm the oath by stating I do, and then state your name for the record. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Ted Bolton.
Thank you.
I do. Sean Talbot.
Thank you.
I do. Kevin Smith.
Thank you.
Alicia Labat, I do.
Thank you. Y'all can have a seat. The chairman will individually call the docket.
It is the Tax Commission's policy to accept all documents into the record that were timely pre-filed in accordance with the Commission's rules and regulations. This will be done at the conclusion of all hearings on today's docket. Accordingly, there is no need to formally offer or introduce the exhibits into the record during your appeal hearing. However, if you intend to object to the submission of any of the opposing parties' exhibits, you must notify the Commission at the start of your appeal hearing. As a reminder, this is an administrative hearing, and as such, the rules of evidence are relaxed. The Commission is inclined to review and consider all evidence submitted and to accept such evidence into the record. All right, the first appeal that we'll hear this morning is the appeal of 1100 Annunciation LLC versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22171-007. Yeah, okay, sir. Okay, this is a taxpayer appeal, so I'll ask you to please go to the microphone and tell us about the property.
My name is Sean Talbot. I'm a realtor in New Orleans. I'm representing 1100 Annunciation LLC. They asked me to appear on their behalf concerning a condominium in the Warehouse District in New Orleans, 610 John Churchill Chase. And the appellant is requesting a revised assessment of $583,000. I believe the tax commission had an appraisal done that supported their position, and I'm happy to answer any other questions you have.
Yeah, you're requesting this tax commission staff
2020,
appraisal?
This is 2020 tax year, but the assessment for 2021 is going to be exactly the same.
Well, yeah, we
Yeah.
unfortunately, we don't,
No,
we're not at 20, we got enough to do for 2020 right now. So, you're requesting, the client is requesting a staff commission value of $583,000, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. All right, are there any questions?
Do we know where the assessor stands? Do we have a sheet?
The board of review, he's requested the board of review value, which is
Okay.
higher.
All right.
We don't have any backup for his request, it's just the number he wants. The only real evidence we have is our staff appraisal. So,
It's the exact same condominium in the building, that is the same floor plan, same size. One floor above this particular subject property is assessed at basically the same level that they are requesting.
yeah, okay. All right, I don't think we need to say a whole lot more. All right, let's go ahead and hear from our, appraiser, Ms. Labat. And she's gonna need to get to the microphone, so you can step, that's all right. Just step away from the microphone for a moment.
So, I value the subject property, 610 John Churchill Chase, Unit 4. Using market approach to value, determined a fair market value of $583,000 with $49,800 attributed to the land and $533,200 attributed to the improvements.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion.
Please do.
respect to docket number 19-22171-007. My motion would be to set the 2020 valuation to the LTC staff appraisal. Land, $49,800. Improvements, $533,200, for a total of $583,000.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shawardi?
Yes. All right, that'll do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. All right, the next appeal we'll take up on our docket this morning is item D, as in David. The appeal of McKinley Smith III versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22171-047. Please, Mr. Smith, please come to the microphone, and please identify yourself for the record.
My name is McKinley Smith III. I have two properties, so we're gonna.
Yeah, well, we have to take them one at a time. We're gonna do the other one right after this
So
one.
which one are we on now?
Which one, we're on, it's one in your name, McKinley Smith III.
2629,
On Martin Luther King.
2629.
2629 Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yes, sir. McKinley Smith III, I own that property. I know it was appraised and I have too much problem with the appraised value. It's just that my problem with the assessment is that quality. I did my own research straight from the assessor's website. Everything in there, the numbers was much lower, and I just didn't see where the assessment was based on. Based on the properties on the same block or adjacent block.
I see where the Board of Review lowered the value by $30,000 from $189,900, which is what the assessor had previous to that, and it was lowered to $159,900. Is that a number that you're comfortable with?
I think I apologize that I didn't bring my own. I thought it was a video. I had a request for, I want to say, 150.
Your taxpayer request is $90,000.
Okay, that was the
But we don't have any documentation or evidence or exhibits to support that. The only evidence that we have is the staff appraisal, which is actually more, but I don't know that the commission's willing to do that. I think, that the commission would be more likely to affirm the Board of Review, which is a $30,000 reduction over what the assessor had.
There's some mention of some deferred maintenance or some problems with your property?
It's been in the same condition since, no improvements have been done since about 2007, since Katrina. I don't know what made the first assessment was an extra 100,000 more. Just the only one on the block that just went up by 100,000. I just didn't see what justified it.
The appraisal that our staff appraiser did said that the condition was average. Would you say that's fair? Or?
Yeah, that's fair. That's what I said. The problem is not the appraisal, it's just that I don't know how the city make assessments based on one property on one block, and then you just got to eat it. I don't understand that. Typically, I know this off the record, may not pertain to it. I live in Gretna. I live in a subdivision. I know it's easy to do a subdivision because you got a value by a square foot you can use to determine, and everything kind of considered equal. In Orleans, it's a little bit more, one block could be one, next block could be this. Personally, I don't know if the assessor or his team is physically coming out to these areas and putting an assessment on it. I don't know how they just choose one particular building and say, I'm gonna put an extra 100,000 on that one, and everybody else good to go.
The neighboring buildings that you're talking about, are they similar in nature to yours, or?
Well, they're rental property. That's the only thing I can get like close to. We got a corner store that's right across the street from the grocery store, meat market, whatever. I think it's assessed at like about 40-something thousand. I have it here, and I was just trying to get my take on what was the, I know I gotta justify why it's not worth that much, but at the same time, I'm thinking, assessed, if you tell me it's worth $100 more thousand, I did no major repair, just regular maintained maintenance on it. And I understand that the sales are going up in the area, but I think everybody should at least come up together at a gradual pace.
Did you happen to have anything written down with all these properties that you're talking about, or
I printed them out straight off the website.
can you tell them to us? Can you give us that information?
Okay,
And any that are similar to yours?
You have the one next door, or across the street, or?
okay, let's get the one next door. The address is, the physical address is Magnolia, what I'm talking about, and then we have one on here on Magnolia, is on 1400 Magnolia, which my physical address is 1424 Magnolia. This particular property is assessed at a total value of $82,000. And they got people living in it just like my property.
And how many square feet is it, does it say?
Now, this, your property's on, 2629 Martin Luther King, you said on Magnolia.
Right, it's a corner house that back in the day, it used to be a double, one apartment was on,
Okay,
Magnolia, just the physical part address is on Martin Luther King, on Magnolia.
okay.
The square footage is on the right, at the top.
Building area, 1529 square feet.
And it's at how much?
It's assessed at 82,000, which went down about 10 or 11,000 since 19.
Is it,
Can you just kind of show us a picture of that bill? Just don't come too close, but just kind of, we can see if
You
we
want
want
to come a little closer?
Yeah, all right,
so it's
Hold on,
similar?
yeah, this is right.
that's good, yeah. All right, so that's the square footage, so similar condition of your property as well.
That's a double.
Okay. Any more?
This right next to this house. It's on 1412 Magnolia Street, which is a double. Its total value is assessed at 104,000, which went down in 19. It was 150, and it went down in 20 and 21 to 104.
How many square feet again? I'm sorry.
This square feet is 2470. This building is a double ground.
What was yours
We-
assessed at in 2009?
The year that I'm appealing,
No.
Prior year.
What was the value in 2019?
it was 90,000, and then it went up to 189.
Right, and the Board of Review reduced it to 159.9. We need to hear from our staff appraiser, but the only exhibits or evidence we have is our tax commission staff appraisal. If we want to do some more research into the property, we'll have to take this matter under advisement. So have to see what the commissioners want to do. Which I think we may be leaning toward taking it under advisement. Am I getting some nods?
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
can do some further research on the
Yeah.
website,
All
verify what he's brought to the table.
Right.
Produced as evidence, we just
Right.
give this one to see right now.
Right. What's the address of those properties on Magnolia?
26,000.
What is it?
1400 and 1412 Magnolia.
1400 and 1412 Magnolia? And that's just around the corner?
It's on the same, my house is on the corner, and like I said, the physical address is 1424 Magnolia, but the city has the Martin Luther King side of it, where it used to be a double one bedroom. And you
Okay,
entered
but-
one apartment from Martin
But
Luther King.
the houses on Magnolia, the address is 1400
Yes,
and 1412?
14, hold on, let me get that.
Yeah, we want to verify what you're looking at
Okay.
and giving us amounts on.
I mean, you can give us as many comps as you have there, don't skip over them.
Okay. That was 1,400 Magnolia.
And 1412, you told us 1412?
Yes.
Are there any other ones that you have there that support what you're saying?
Hold on there. I'm sorry. That was the mailing address I was giving. That was actually on Fairview, the wrong around the corner. Sorry about that.
What's the address?
It's 2628 Fairview, which is right around the corner.
Delia?
Yes. And the other address was correct, 1412 Magnolia. I have about 5 or 6 of them in a packet, that I put together. If anybody needs to see a copy.
When you were doing your research, were there any other, was your property the only one that had an increase, or were there other ones that had an increase?
Others had an increase. I got like a little, a package put together, and some of them went up, It's just that like one of the ones that went up that was on Martin Luther King, it was, the new construction of totally renovated. And it was actually originally assessed, lower than mine doing the same assessment.
Why don't you email what you have to Ms. Tanisha's email address? She'll forward it to us,
Okay.
and we'll do some further review if the commission wants to take it or not.
Right. Let's hear from our staff appraiser, Mr. Bolton. If you can just step away from the mic for a few moments. Thank you, sir.
I did a market value appraisal using market value, got a land value of $7,800 for the land, improved value of $169,200, and a total value of $177,000.
All righty, thank you. All right, we have a motion. We want to take this under advisement. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, on docket 19-22171-047, my motion is to take this under advisement to do some further review.
Second?
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahar?
Yes. All right. Next item we'll take up, I'll make a motion that we amend this morning's docket to include the appeal of Makia Nichelle Smith versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22174-026. And to amend we're amending our docket to include that appeal as well. You have a second?
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahar?
Yes. All right, Mr. Smith, why don't you go on back to the microphone, and now we're talking about the property at 2621 4th Street in New Orleans.
Okay, and yes, and basically we have the same similar situation. This situation is much more comparable because they had houses almost identical to it in either the crossing street or the adjacent street. And initially it was assessed at $325,000. And I want to say that the board came back at $265. And even at that amount, basically what I did the same thing, just go on the assessor's website. I printed out at least about 5 or 6 houses that was almost identical to it, either right on the same street or right around the corner. And the numbers was about $80,000 to $100,000 difference.
All right, can you give us the addresses of those? We're going to email that to us, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, email that to us also.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll have that. I'm assuming we want to take this one under advisement as well, since...
Is this a new construction? You built this property?
Yes.
I see something about a permit for only $130,000. Was that what you
Yeah, that was the cost to build.
cost to build?
Right.
So your cost of construction on a new property was $130,000.
Did that include the lot, or was that just the bill?
But that was just the build. The lot was $9,100.
And you're requesting $180,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And how much did you say the construction cost was?
$130.
That was the absolute total construction cost.
Right.
And how large is the building, the structure?
I want to say it's roughly about 1,450 to 1,500 square feet.
Yeah, 1485 according to our notes.
It's nice in the middle. And the construction cost, $130,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's hear from Mr. Bolton.
I appraised this property using the market approach. My improvement value was $248,100. The total value was $256,000. The land value was $7,900.
Any questions?
I see you listed the condition as very good. Is that just based on that it was new construction?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, this matter looks like one that we're going to need to take under advisement. So unless the commissioners have a different feeling, we'll need a motion to do so.
Mr. Chairman, I would move in the matter of 19221744026 that we take this matter under advisement.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardi?
Yes. Mr. Smith, we're going to do some more research on these two properties and make a determination based on what you said here today and what our research turns up. Okay? All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for coming.
All right, thank you all.
All right. At this time, we'll move back to the top of the docket and consider the appeal of docket number 19-22171-019. It's item B on the docket. Let the record reflect there's no one here this morning on behalf of the assessor's office. As with the other appeals, no one here on behalf of the assessor's office. In this particular appeal, no one here on behalf of the taxpayer, property owner. So let's go ahead and hear from Ms. Labat.
So I appraised the subject property using the market approach. This taxpayer's chief complaint was that the assessor had incorrect square footage on the property. He provided documentation supporting that. The assessor was 100 square feet off, so I modified my square footage accordingly. Determined a fair market value of $246,000, with $20,800 attributed to the land and $225,200 attributed to the improvements.
I see on the briefing sheets here that the improvements are listed at 864 square feet.
Yes,
Is that the correct square footage?
that's the correct square
What did
footage.
the assessor have, just out of
He had
curiosity?
900
Nine something?
9 something. Mhm.
Okay.
It was like not, it was 124 square feet off.
Okay. All right. Any questions? I believe the assessor's office was in support of the tax commission staff appraisal. Am I correct on that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was the question?
The assessor's office was in support of the tax commission staff appraisal?
That's correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
I move on docket number 19-22171-019 that the 2020 fair market value be set at the LTC staff's appraisal, land $20,800, improvements $225,200, for a total of $246,000.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardi?
Yes. All right, the next appeal is the appeal of Brennan Lark versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22171-045. Again, let the record reflect that there's no one here this morning on behalf of the assessor's office, nor on behalf of the property owner or taxpayer. So we will go ahead and hear from our staff appraiser, Mr. Bolton.
Using the market market approach, I appraised this property at $590,000. $408,400 for the improvements and $81,600 for the land.
All right. That was a total value of $590,000?
Yes, sir.
All righty, thank you.
Was there any issue with this particular property as far as construction use, or, I think something was sent to us with respect to.
Yeah, he said, I looked at this house. I believe I looked at that, let me look and make sure.
When he's talking about pilings and casings and bricking
That I could not
and,
observe.
this is part of the original permit,
Right.
was that what that is?
I have no idea what that, he sent me a ton of stuff on condition. When I looked at it, it looked like a normal, older house, frame house in this part of New Orleans to me.
Yes, I see it's dated 2015, so it must have been with his renovation or something he did.
Yeah.
And then, he also sent insurance information showing
Yeah, this is one of them I didn't get to go look at.
coverage in 237. He's really not here to explain it, so I don't know.
It's difficult to tell exactly what's going on.
I mean, what was done in 2015 doesn't necessarily
No.
correlate with what we're at in 2020.
Is this, and this isn't a rental property, I see that the address for the taxpayer is in Texas on one of these
Well,
documents.
I called him, I tried to contact him, he never returned my phone call.
So we really just don't know.
I understand that vehicle, where the address is, so it's all that.
The assessor is looking to uphold the border review.
I think we should, yeah, I think upholding the border review is probably the right thing to do. Have a motion?
Make a motion on docket number 19-22171-045 that we uphold the parish board of review, setting the land at 81,600, improvements 484,500 for a total of 566,100.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right, the next item we'll take up is the appeal of John Bicknell versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22171-048. Again, let the record reflect that there's no one here on behalf of the assessor's office or on behalf of the property owner and taxpayer. So let's hear from Mr. Watt.
So I personally inspected the subject property, valued it using the market approach, determined a fair market value of $555,000, with $14,500 attributed to the land and $540,500 attributed to the improvements.
All right. All right, thank you. Again, the assessor's office expressed their support for the tax commission staff appraisal, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Any questions? We have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move on docket 19-22171-048 that we accept the LTC staff appraisal, set the land value at $14,500, improvement value $540,500, for a total value of $555,000.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. The next item on the docket is the appeal of Ronald David Brown versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22173-180. Again, no one here on behalf of the assessor's office or on behalf of the property owner or taxpayer. So Let's go ahead and hear from Mr. Lott.
So I valued the subject property utilizing the market approach. I was not able to personally inspect the property, but the taxpayer did provide me with documentation that supported me placing the property in fair condition. Determined the fair market value of $198,000, with $73,800 attributed to the land and $124,200 attributed to the improvements.
On this one, you had an appraisal that was submitted by the taxpayer, did you see that?
I did not.
I think that's what I have.
I think according to the record, unless I'm incorrect, he paid $198,000 for the property in December of 2018. And there's an appraisal back in June of 2018 for $235,000.
Also include my pictures showing about the cake and
But your appraisal supports the 190 value.
My appraisal supports the $198,000 value.
The letter I'm looking at goes back to November of 2019, basically just saying that he believes the assessor's value and the board review value is too high. We have our staff appraisal that supports $198,000. So,
And also, this is a marginal neighborhood, 4,200 for Gunny. It's a borderline neighborhood, so it's not hard if you, as an appraiser, you can select comps that are still within an appropriate radius that might not necessarily be comparable to the subject property. It's not hard to do that if you're not very familiar with the neighborhood itself.
You went about a mile out of mile, that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking at, so.
and so you're comfortable with the
Very
198,000?
comfortable with that value.
Okay. All right. We have a motion?
I'm ready to make a motion in the matter of 1922173-180. I would move that we set the 2020 fair market value at $73,800 for land, $124,200 for improvements, for a total fair market value of $198,000.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Sharp?
Yes. All right, did we miss anything? The docket for this morning?
That concludes the docket for today.
Hmm? Is that everything?
That does conclude our docket for today.
Okay, thank you. The Tax Commission hereby accepts all three filed documents and oral testimony into the record as Taxpayer Exhibit 1 in Globo, Assessor Exhibit 1 in Globo, and the Louisiana Tax Commission Staff Appraiser Exhibit 1 in Globo for each appeal hearing conducted today respectfully. I want to make sure that the spreadsheet the Assessor's Office provided to us is made part of the record as well, as part of the Assessor's position. So, again, the remaining items on the docket this morning have been settled or continued, so no need for us to move forward on those. Unless there's something else that the commissioners wish to bring up, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Sharp?
Yes.